Hello, madam.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, we can continue, ma'am.
All right. Is the screen visible? I hope the screen is visible, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what it actually involves, the features of design thinking. Let us take a quick review of it. Design thinking involves collaboration, sometimes across disciplines in interdisciplinary teams, and it is constructive thinking as it's a solution based approach. And empathy is a focus, it is holistic in nature, it is cyclical, it is not linear, and each cycle is built upon the previous one. It is iterative, and the method encourages outside the box thinking. Sometimes great inventions, great discoveries happen when they try out all other wrong methods. So there are some similarities when compared to scientific thinking. So scientific thinking and design thinking depend on generating and testing hypotheses. But the difference is scientific method searches for the answer, whereas design thinking refers to what might be in the future. So scientific method only addresses the present or what it is, it only tries to explain a phenomenon. But this is solution based. Yeah, we have something called aha moment. Aha moment is, when you start believing in something which you did not believe in the past. Suddenly you start accepting it. So, according to Cross, theoretically, it is being defined as a point in the cycle in which synthesis and divergent thinking, analysis and convergent thinking, and the problem meet. Anyway, this is the description. I think I'll skip this. Then, if you look at the stages, how does it work? So you have to contemplate, analyze what makes sense, desirability, what makes sense to people and for people, and then feasibility part, what is technically possible within the foreseeable future, and what is likely to become part of sustainable business model. Whether this idea works, you have to test, trial test. So it has 7 processes in which all the methods come together through a series of actions. Initially, according to Simon, that is 1969, who was the first one to introduce the term design thinking. Define, research, ideate, prototype, choose, implement, and learn. But over a period of time, there have been some modifications made in these stages, but this is a classical model. Yeah, they were viewed as circular in nature, not cyclical. So there have been several approaches by Martin and also by Brown. The scholar points, according to Brown, the design process is best described metaphorically as a system of spaces rather than a predefined series or orderly steps. So this is another model compared to Simmons model. So in 2013, again, Dolac et al. Defined design thinking as an approach to foster the process of human centered idea generation and evaluation in a team context. So the concept of human centeredness has been introduced. So the process starts with approaching a problem from a human perspective, and the focus is on people and their needs, and human and business and technical factors are integrated in a problem identification, problem solution, and design. So according to Dolac, the problem is defined first, then the needs followed by brainstorming, leading to the creation of a prototype which is later tested. So in the process, they apply diverging and converging phases in design process. So, according to Brown, he emphasizes that there are various methods to stimulate idea generation and enhance creativity. So, this is another model, of course, with minor changes in the processes. Now, I would like to, yeah, we will try to look at this is the most acceptable one. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. There are 5 stages. So, what is empathy? Empathy provides a critical starting point for design thinking. Getting to know the user and understanding their wants, needs, and objectives. And define. The second stage in the design thinking process is dedicated to defining the problem. Understand and then give it a concrete shape. What it is on paper. How would you want to approach? Phase 3 is ideate. With a solid understanding of your users and a clear problem statement in mind, it's time to start working on potential solutions. Third phase in the design thinking process, where actual creativity happens, how the dimensions, the measurements, what is needed, the material used, all those things are thought of. So here they will hold ideation sessions. Designers will hold ideation sessions in order to come up with as many new angles and ideas as possible. like brainstorming, mind mapping to body storming, role based scenarios, provocation, lateral thinking technique, etc. So finally, the in ideation phase, the ideas are narrowed down, divergent to convergent thinking. Then the fourth step is prototype. So this is a stage where thinking process and experimentation is turned into tangible product, developing the prototype. Finally, testing phase. After prototyping comes user testing, and the results of the testing phase will often lead you back to the previous step, providing the insights. You need to redefine the original problem statement or to come up with new ideas. Yeah, after testing, sometimes you may have to go back if at all it fails and you identified some loopholes in the system or in the product that you have developed, then you may have to rework it from the scratch. And now, yeah, we would take a look at some of the business organizations which have come up with industries which have come up with the design thinking. Airbnb. Have you heard of Airbnb? Airbnb. Then Pillpack. You have Clean Team, IBM. So these are all the outcomes of the model that we have just discussed. Stanford Hospital, Uber Eats, Netflix, Golden Gate Regional Center, Bank of America, etc. So these are Airbnb is related to online accommodation booking app. Just a minute. Yes, till 9 it will go on. Till 9 o'clock.
Yes. Link for tomorrow. You asked me to remind you.
You can create.
Yeah. How many should I be?
Headsmail. From Headsmail. Gmail.
How many people? Just one.
To all the scholars and to the.
You have a meeting, ma'am? Oh, okay. And we talk out.
Yeah, I was just trying to share uh, what these terms mean. All right. Sorry. Yes, Airbnb has created and has earned many profits by introducing this concept of booking accommodation through an app. So that has applied the technique of design thinking. And PillPack, it's a pharmacy where pharmacy startup where people can buy medicines online. So now, of course, it is spread across many countries across India, many places. But initially, it was started in 2004, before 2014. Then we have clean team. In-home toilets for Ghana's urban poor in the social sector. So this case study describes clean team which apply design thinking to provide in-home toilets for Ghana's urban people at a more cost-effective and economical prices. Then you have IBM. Of course, it's an example of a corporate giant which has invested in design thinking and developing large internal design team. It's about ways to improve the patient experience in the emergency room. In addition to that, they were also working on other new experiences for the hospital, how to improvise. They even designed two nursing units in the current hospital to serve only patients with cancer. So, traumatic patients, so their experiences, how to make them feel comfortable. So, that's just a picture. Yeah, English. Now you have many Zomato, etc. But then earlier it was Uber Eats. Uber, you can also book cab, Ola and Uber, etc. But these are all startups which are the result of design thinking. So Bank of America, etc. Even Netflix, for that matter, was a result of design thinking. Netflix pivoted using design thinking to become an on-demand streaming site in response to cable's competition, and more importantly, to its customer needs and expectations. So, the customer satisfaction is prime focus. Netflix teams were encouraged to look for new opportunities to delight customers as a way to drive better engagement and new revenue. So, those are some of the examples of business organizations which have applied design thinking and then have benefited immensely. Okay, this is all theory. Anyway, we have discussed that part, and now moving on to the differences between digital natives and digital immigrants. So, digital natives are millennials, net generation, with sophisticated knowledge and skills. So, is the current education system prepared for digital natives? So, on the right side of the screen, digital natives, how do you define them? born after 1980s, and digital immigrants are born before 1980s. So digital immigrants didn't grow up with ZTV or MTV, etc. They're from typewriter to PC. They had to learn how to use ICT, still order pizza over the phone. Whereas they didn't know, digital natives didn't know that their life existed life before iPhones. They love their ZTV and many other channels. So this is just a pictorial highlighting the differences of digital natives and digital immigrants. What are the characteristics? Of course, craving for speed and inability to tolerate slow paced environment, desire or perceived need to multitask, preference for pictures rather than text. Yes, that is where artificial intelligence and virtual reality have come into play. Even teaching learning method also should be reoriented to meet the needs, to address the needs of digital natives. So rather than teaching, earlier history was taught using text, but now they would really want to understand or go back to Mughal period or Mohenjo-daro and Harappan period and then view how life was. So the models, the prototypes that are developed in teaching, that's the reason I said phenomenal change has to happen in the field of education in order to meet the future needs of digital natives. And constant connectivity, preference through learning activity rather than reading, or yes, mixing of work and play, all time study and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So they believe in that principle. Expectation of immediate feedback and payoff for their efforts as found in games. Tendency to process information in non-linear ways, preference for fantasy, etc. So, how would that be made possible? This new ideology. There are contradictions because only a wet baby would want a change. So, it would take time for educationists, theorists, researchers, and policymakers to integrate design thinking into the curriculum. And they have to depart from traditional ways of thinking or establish a connection with the traditional models. So, everywhere, even in mathematics, when you teach a particular topic, perhaps with models that could lead to better comprehension, and teaching learning also could be fostered, or perhaps use of CDs in along with the text. I'm told in some of the schools based on the guidelines of National Curriculum Framework. The bilingual textbooks have been introduced in sciences in higher secondary level, science, maths, and social. So they can view both the text and even a CD with a QR code. QR code is given through which they could view certain things online. So we are already witnessing some kind of progress at the school level. So one of the scholars is working on efficacy of using this bilingual textbooks and also use of technology. So the present textbooks in Telangana region have been redesigned with the translation, mathematics, because NEP, National Education Policy, also emphasizes use of regional languages for better comprehension, initial stages at least. And over a period of time, the student will master the language, understand the concepts, complex concepts better. But initially, use of bilingual method will definitely prove effective, and it already is implemented. So some of the advantages: it is inclusive, continuous, at scale, low cost, agile, real time. So there is a need to develop conceptual content to didactic principles. This is another model, of course, with many subcomponents.
Rocked.
So change has to be accepted. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate that we have to establish the system, come to terms with it, and from all stakeholders should contribute it. In the field of education, it is just beginning, not in your respective domains. Probably you could explore. You could give it a thought, serious thought about how this could be employed in your. If you were to teach a particular skill, or if you are taking up a particular case study in the field of management, then how would the technique of design thinking assist or help overcome a problem? So you can give it a thought and then you could share your reflections. So your reflections, please. So it is more of a practical orientation, design thinking. So you can extend it to classroom, connect it to the real life problems. It could be classroom based and beyond also. So, how do you connect it? I would like to. Yes, please. I would like to hear from you your reflections about using design thinking in a classroom.
Chili butter சாப்பிடுறீங்களாக்கா? வேணாமா? சாப்பிடுது. சில்லி பட்டர் சாப்பிடலாம்னு ஆல்ரெடி கேட்குறேன். இல்லைன்னா ஆனியன் தோசை தோசை லிஸ்ட்ல இல்ல.
Hello, Dr. Chandrasekhar. I'm
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Participants, if you have any quiz or if you would like to share any points with
இல்ல.
Professor, you can share.
Any reflections, please? General reflections, your comments about this approach. Is it a welcome sign? What are the challenges involved? From your
Ma'am,
perspective, you can, yeah,
Madam, I would like to know one
yes,
opinion from you.
yes,
Being an language professor,
yes.
how we can approach the students, that is especially college students and UG or postgraduate students who are today well versed with digital media and also social media and all.
Mm. How to reach out to college students?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Because see, they are not as into school students. If we use different methods, they will be interested, but these people are very much what to say, they are always changing and have different social media and
Yeah,
digital technologies and all.
I think we have already been using some of the digital tools during COVID time. We have taught them online using Google Classroom and LMS, and then the kind of assessment tools used were also digital, like designing tasks, even downloading some videos from YouTube. So that way, I think you can uh, uh, make an amalgam of all these. You can draw their attention definitely to the use of digital tools in a different method to suit their subject, to suit the topic, be it in the form of project, be it in the form of take home assignment. Why not we follow flipped model? Flipped teaching is already in vogue. Not only it is restricted to COVID times, but even now, yeah, one or two sessions like you could you make use of this padlets, padlets where you could create a link, send it to across to the students, and there and give them an assignment. Their views about the assignment can be added or viewed by other students also. So that is something which they would like or love at the advanced level. If you are if you have
Okay.
asked to submit a project, let us say a project identifying the problems in the nearby village, come up with a solution, apply design thinking model, the model of empathizing, ideation, a prototype, and testing, etc. So in groups they will definitely work, they will try definitely come up with a solution using technology. So motivation and then using right tools at the right time in an appropriate and judicious manner matters, I feel. And it varies from situation to situation, sir. We cannot generalize like. No doubt, undoubtedly, they have their own misconceptions, they have their own ideas and perceptions. Sometimes they're adamant, but at the end of the day, again, it's a task of a teacher to, motivate them to learn. Use some stimulators. These can be used as, brainstormers or, stimulators to motivate them to learn. So Padlet could be tried out. So.
Yes, ma'am. I have also heard about, and I have also done courses on with related to this parallels and other tools and all. But before using this parallels or other tools, we need to also make the students also known about how to use that
Yes.
tools, isn't it, ma'am?
Teachers also need orientation. In the first place, teachers need that orientation in making use of these tools effectively. For that matter, tools like Mentimeter, quizzes, you have tools like Kahoot, Nearpod. These are very good tools which have inbuilt materials on various themes, and they can be explored to suit the needs of the students. But as you mentioned aptly, teachers need orientation and students only need to work, sir. They need to have a mobile or a laptop, nothing much. They need not be very skillful in working on these, using these tools. What matters is just the guidelines, the rubrics that they need to follow.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks, ma'am.
Yes.
Participants, any other, please. Participants, you can come up with your questions
Yeah,
or any
yes.
opinions.
What is your opinion about design thinking? It's a novel concept. You will be exposed to various inputs, insights shared by experts, other experts. So, what is your understanding? What has been your understanding about employing it in your context?
Very good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Yes,
My
Karthik.
voice is audible.
Yes, Karthik.
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Thanks. Ma'am, I have two doubts, ma'am. So, first one is actually one of the features of this topic is for related to creativity and critical thinking, ma'am. This is one of the important feature, ma'am, I think.
Yes.
But at present situation, the students they are more focusing on getting the degree or clearing the exam with good marks, ma'am. Not bother about the concepts, ma'am. So how this one is useful for the present students, ma'am?
That is a
They only
reason.
focusing on they only focus on getting the marks or getting the degree. That's all.
Yeah,
But
very valid observation and reflection
uh,
made by you, Mr. Karthik. Thank you for that. So I
thank you
do
so much.
agree that students are more mindful of getting marks and grades and then getting placed in a good company. But then, yeah, they're good at technical skills, perhaps. But then now that this system needs an overhauling. NEP also precisely emphasizes on that, emphasizes on more of hands-on experience rather than theory. Marks do not matter. Now we follow this continuous assessment. The system of evaluation also has changed. We give them more of assignment. 40 marks only are for end exam. There has been a change in the evaluation system also. Even in school level, we have this choice-based credit exams conducted. So there has been some change happening at a grassroots level also, as I mentioned. At school level, again, textbooks, the content has been replaced, CDs are provided. So even at the college level, introducing um, the teachers and students should be oriented that focus shouldn't be on the marks, but then on the process of learning. The focus should be on the process. What have I learned? What are the takeaways from? How do I apply these theoretical principles in practice? How do I use my theoretical knowledge in solving a particular problem? A person from computer science cannot reassemble a system, whereas an illiterate can do it. How do you think is possible?
So based on the interest, ma'am, only interest.
Yeah, interest. So now that is the reason NEP is stressing on give them
Okay,
more options, give them more options, more courses. Mine in
okay,
the form of minor. Supposing a student is interested in electronics, but he is also parallelly interested in electrical and computer science. So he will end up getting a minor degree in that. So he will master skills in computers besides electronics.
oh,
His main subject. So change is happening, but it's a long way. We have to wait and watch and be optimistic. That's all I could say at this time.
thank you for ma'am. Another one I post another one question, ma'am. So
Please.
actually, project is one of the part of curriculum, ma'am. Actually,
Yes.
postgraduate is it occupy more than one semester. So
Mm.
at present, the companies are not willing to provide any system or a project manager or some time for allocating students for getting the real-time projects. So only 20 to 30% of the students got the real-time project. So how to tackle this, ma'am? How to overcome this challenge, ma'am? Because a project in the industrial environment is the main purpose is to analyze the industrial environment to the students. That is the main purpose of project. But at the present situation, the company is not allowing them. So how to overcome this challenge, ma'am?
Yeah, but I may not be able to address this directly, but then I can only suggest that some courses can be offered related to project rural, rural background. Some rural villages can be adopted. I'm told in IIT Kharagpur, IIT Kharagpur, they do offer courses as part of project or as open electives where students get trained, hands-on experience in finding projects for themselves so that they're ready for, employment. The same can be used whatever
Oh,
they do as part of some course, open
okay,
elective or mandatory course, credit course, where they
okay,
are
ma'am.
trained, they gain that experience and that can be extended. That's one possibility I could see.
Okay,
So
thank you.
think of introducing such courses
Okay, ma'am.
to begin with. Yeah. And I would be glad to share that MIT is offering a course on design thinking. If you could Google, you will find that I had come across this site where this link where Massachusetts Institute of Technology is offering a course on design thinking, where it is integrated in some of the universities. It is in a course on design thinking for a happy life. Course
Oh,
title design thing for life itself, not just survival or a prototype that is developed. It is for leading a happy life itself. So that is something quite interesting I have encountered.
okay,
Probably we can
ma'am.
enroll if it is online, offered online.
Okay, ma'am. So I noted. Thank you so much for your information, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a
yes.
very useful presentation, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I really
Thank you.
wonder if, from a different background, if I could do justice to the topic and to the audience, but that little information that I could gather, it was a learning experience for me too in expediting.
I'm
Though,
actually belong to civil background, ma'am. I think
sorry,
you belong to civil background, civil engineering background.
me?
Did you belong to civil engineering background?
Oh, I see. All of them are from civil engineering, or is
Uh,
it mixed?
No,
no,
ma'am, no,
ma'am.
ma'am. Management and commerce teams, ma'am.
Madam is Karthik. Madam is from English background.
Humanities?
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, sir. Sorry. In the beginning, the game requirement is given for the design thinking in civil engineering courses, sir. That's why asking, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That is the reason I had to admit that I'm from non engineering background.
But it is more useful,
Uh,
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah,
Ma'am, this forum is a collection of different disciplines like management, commerce, English, computer science, and even uh, um, um other bioscience, etc. And all.
I see. It's a mixed group. Yeah, this can be extended. Like it is just an awareness, a sensitization that things are happening, and again you can give it a thought also to. It need not be a prototype always. It need not be a model. It cannot take that form. But if you are able to help a student following these five stages, empathizing, what is the real problem of the student? Why does he fail? He or she fails to understand, and through collective efforts, if you are able to resolve, help the person come out of that, then that can also fall under design thinking. It need not always be associated with technology. Divergent and convergent thinking are part of it. Collaborative thinking.
Um, okay,
So,
ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am, I would like to know. Actually, you are into conducting trainings and other courses on flipped classrooms and different types of teaching methods. Are you providing any courses or conducting workshops for the faculty members of other institutions? And are you ready to do such workshops, ma'am?
Actually, I was a core team member for Teaching Learning Center. We have Pandit Madan Mohan Malavia Teaching Learning Center established on campus. It's a huge building where they got a grant of 9 crores. So, as part of that, we have to train faculty. So, we were training, conducting 1 month programs, 1 week FDPs. Basically, the focus is on pedagogy strategies and pedagogical methods and strategies in higher education. So it is usually taught for college teachers, UG teachers, and teachers working for engineering and pharmacy and other colleges, but not at the school level. So we were conducting such training sessions, and at the department level also, we do conduct some international conferences, some workshops, etc. But through TLC, they have special objectives, like certain objectives reaching out to some specific target group. And the inputs also would be different. They would start with motivation, and then designing objectives, designing a course outcomes, etc., and all other elements. It's packed. It's a 748 hours course that has to be delivered to the participants. They have inbuilt the titles also. So we do that kind of courses, that kind of FDPs.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Participants, any other participants, your questions or doubts? Ma'am, do you offer MOOCs, that is SWAYAM or NPTEL courses, ma'am?
No, in fact, we are totally occupied with the research projects and other works. We have not been able to devote time towards that actually. We would have done a great job if we had designed courses on SWIME and MOOCs, NPTEL. Yeah, we
Yes,
have
because
humanities. That's lacuna. In fact, we have to.
if we have any courses relating to this pedagogical innovativeness and innovative methods, it will be helpful for the teachers and faculty members.
Yes, sir,
That's
definitely.
why.
We need to contemplate on it and ideate it, design. That's a need I
Okay.
see here.
Okay, ma'am.
So, if there are no questions, I think we could call it a day. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank
And
you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Seriously, I should thank you because, in spite of your health issues, also you have taken your time and spent your valuable evening today to discuss different inputs on design thinking and how it will be helping for the digital natives and how we can take it up to the students. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks for accepting our invitation. And from the organizers, on behalf of the organizers of ATAL FDP, I really thank you sincerely and thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks for being
Thank you
with
very
us.
much. I thank the organizers, the coordinator, Dr. Chandrasekhar, and I congratulate him for having come up, for initiated to have organized this kind of 2 week FDP. I also congratulate all the participants, and I'm sure they will have a fruitful time. And I wish them all the best in their future endeavors. Thank you very much for the opportunity once again.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
My pleasure.